Good morning, students. In last lecture, before the vacations, we have started the new chapter, the human eye and the colorful world. In last lecture, I explained you what is the structure of the human eye and how the human eye works. I explained you this is the outer part of the eye. This is called the cornea. And behind the cornea, there is present the iris. Iris is actually the colorful part of your eye, which can be a brown, black, or can be blue or green. So this is called the iris, and between the iris there is a hole, a complete hole through which the light enters into the eye is called the pupil. And these are the lens. The lens which is present in our eye is the convex lens. So our eye has convex lens. This lens is hanging into the eye with the help of the ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles, with the help of the ciliary muscles, the lens hang out into our eyes. And behind this lens there is a liquid present which is called the vitreous humor, and the liquid which is present before the eye lens is called the aqueous humor. This is the aqueous humor, the fluid present here, and the fluid here is called the vitreous humor. And this is called the screen. The screen means on which the image will be formed. So this is called the screen, which is also called the retina. Retina has two types of cells called the cone cells and the rod cells. Cone cells are responsible for seeing the intensity of light, and cone cells are responsible for color. So C for cone and C for color. It is easy to learn that cone cells are responsible for seeing the different colors. And this is called the blind spot. Blind spot, why it is called the blind spot? Because the image formed at this point is never can be seen, because here no cone cells and rod cells are present. And here is optical nerves which carry the messages from human eye to the brain. So due to which we are able to see the objects. Suppose something is present in front of the eye, then what happened actually, the light which is coming from the object is entered through the pupil of the eye, and when it passes from this lens converts the light rays to the retina, and due to which, if this is the object, the image is formed here on the retina, which is inverted actually. And this message of image formation is carried by the optical nerves in the form of impulse or the electrical impulse to the brain. And our brain can interpret the image upright. Okay, so this was the working of the human eye. In last lecture I explained you how the human eye works. Now I am going to explain you what is accommodation. Actually, we should know what is the meaning of the accommodation. Accommodation means we are able to see the nearby as well as the far object clearly. Suppose you are reading in a book or you are writing in your notebook, then you are able to see the distance, the object which is at the distance of near about 25 cm from your eye. So how you are able to see the object which is at the distance of 25 cm? So I am going to explain you actually what happened, how you are able to see this. And again, if you are able to see the distant object like the stars, you know the distance of the stars from us, the nearest stars other than sun, the nearest star, the name is Proxima Centauri. We are able to see this star even though this is star at the distance of 4.2 light year from us. The distance between the star and us, the nearest star and us, is 4.2 light year. You know what is the meaning of this? It means that the light coming from the star takes 4.2 years to come to us. So it means these stars are so far away from us and we are able to see these stars. So it means we are able to see the nearby object as well as the far object. So we can say that our eye has a power to see the nearby object as well as the far object clearly. And this power of our eye is called the power of accommodation. This is a power of accommodation, that we are able to see the nearby object as well as the far object. This is called the power of accommodation. And you know, if you want to see the nearby object, then your lens should have thick. It means it should have the less focal length. And if you want to see the far object, then your lens should have the large focal length. So it means we have only the one lens. It means it is two lenses we can say, but I am telling about only the one eye. We are able to see only by only one eye. So it means we have a lens, a convex lens. So it means it can change its focal length. Its focal length is not fixed. It can be changed. We that this lens is not actually made up of glass, it is made up of protein, gelatin, which is flexible actually. So we can say, yeah, lines can change the focal length. Then how eye can change the focal length, I am going to explain to you. So in this part of the video, I am going to explain you how our eye can change the focal length of our lens. So this is called the accommodation. Accommodation means the power of the eye due to which we are able to see the nearby as well as the far object clearly. This is called the accommodation. Now this is a rough structure of the eye. This is the cornea and these are the muscles called the ciliary muscles, and with the help of the ciliary muscles lens hang out in a eyeball, and these are the suspensory ligament. So first I am going to tell you what happened actually when you see the far object. Suppose you are seeing the stars. So what happened actually when you see the stars? So when you see stars, these ciliary muscles get relaxed. So it get relaxed when you see the far object. So when these muscles get relaxed, these suspensory ligaments get stretched. It is stretched. When ciliary muscles get relaxed, these suspensory ligaments stretch, and by stretching of these ligaments, this lens becomes thin. So what happened? When ciliary muscles get relaxed, suspensory ligament get stretched, and by stretching, or we can say it pull the lens. Or when this suspensory ligament pull the lens, so you can imagine that if this lens, this suspensory ligament is actually going to pull this lens will become thin. And I explained you in last chapter that if a thick lens we have and this is a thin lens we have, the lens which is thick will have the high focal length, will have the small focal length, and the lens which is thin having the large focal length. So in this case, what happened? When the ciliary muscles get relaxed, suspensory ligaments pull the lens, and by pulling the lens become thin. And when this lens become thin, its focal length, what happens about its focal length? Its focal length increases. Its focal length increases so that it can converge the light ray which is coming parallel from the infinity object to the retina, and that's why we are able to see the distant object clearly. So this is the one thing. What happened? When you see the far object, first your ciliary muscles get relaxed, and the suspensory ligament which attached with the lens pull the lens, and by pulling the lens, this lens is flexible, made up of protein, so it becomes thin. And when it becomes thin, its focal length increases. And by increasing its focal length, it can easily converge the light ray which are coming parallel actually from the infinity to the retina, and that's why you are able to see the object. So this is about when you see the distant object. Now I am going to tell you what happened actually when you see the far object. So I think it should be clear now. For the nearby object, what will happen if you see the nearby object? So if you want to see the nearby object, the light which is coming from the nearby object are not parallel to each other. It is like this, diverging light rays. So these are the diverging light rays. These diverging light rays, this lens has to converge on the retina. So this thin lens cannot converge this light rays to the retina. So it means this lens has to become thick, or we can say its focal length should be decreased. So what happens when you see the nearby object? So when you see the nearby object, this ciliary muscles get contract. Now these ciliary muscles get contract. These ciliary muscles get contract, and the suspensory ligament becomes loose. In first case the ciliary muscles get relaxed and the suspensory ligaments pull the lens. But in case when you see the nearby object, like you are reading a book, so when you see the nearby object, the ciliary muscles get contract and suspensory ligaments get loose. And when it becomes loose, the lens becomes thick. It means this lens gains its original position. And when this lens gets its original position, it means it's become thick. And when it becomes thick, it means its focal length become short. Now it has a less focal length, and due to which it can easily converge the light ray which is coming diverse towards it, or we can say the light ray which is coming from the nearby object, this lens can converge this light ray on this retina. So these are the two cases how we are able to see the distant object as well as the nearby object. And you can write your notebook in your notebook. First, what is accommodation? You will write the definition of the accommodation. Second, you will explain how human eye work, how we are able to see the nearby as well as the far object. So in first case, you will see the far object. If you want to see the far object, what will happen? The ciliary muscles get relaxed, suspensory ligaments pull the lens, and the lens become thin. It means focal length will increases, so that the lens can focus all the light ray which is coming from the infinity to the retina. So this is the first case. And again you will explain how we are able to see the nearby object. So in this part you will see that when you see the nearby object, what happened actually, the ciliary muscles get contract, due to which the suspensory ligament becomes loose, and this lens gain its original position. It means it becomes thick, since it is made up of protein. So it becomes thick and it converts the light ray which is coming towards it from the nearby object. So this is the working of the eye, how the human eye works, how the human eye can see the nearby as well as the far object. Then the next part is range of vision. So what is the meaning of range of vision? It means what is the range of your vision? You know, you can see the nearby object clearly, you can see the far object which is at the infinity. It means the range of vision is from nearby object to the infinity. So infinity is clear. Infinity has no limit. But what is about the nearby object? What should be the minimum distance to which you can see object clearly without staining? It means without gain a stain to your eyes, how can you see the nearby object? What is the distance, minimum distance to which you can see clearly? So this is for the normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. 25 centimeter for the normal eye is the nearest distance to which you can see easily. This is also called the distant. It is called the distinct vision of okay, I just forget the name. Okay, it doesn't matter. So this is the range of vision from 25 centimeter to infinity. Okay, the name is least distance of distant vision. Least distance of distant vision. So least distance of distant vision is 25 centimeter. This is a minimum distance to which you can see clearly without staining your eye. And the far distance we can see clearly is the infinity. So the range of the vision is 25 centimeter to the infinity. This is called the range of the vision. So this is what we have learned, how the human eye works, what is the construction and working of the human eye, and what is the accommodation and the range of the vision. Now I am going to tell you some defect of vision. So in our syllabus we have 3 defects of vision. In our syllabus there are many other type of defects also. So in our syllabus we have myopia, hypermetropia and cataract. So first I am going to tell you what is myopia. What is myopia? So myopia, or other name is short-sightedness. Short-sightedness of mind. In myopia, a person can see nearby object clearly but not able to see the far object clearly. Most of the students of your age having the defect of vision is called the myopia. So it means most of the students having the spectacles due to this defect of vision is called the myopia. So in myopia, a person can see the nearby object clearly but cannot see the far objects. Like you are sitting on the last bench and you are not able to see what I am writing in the board. This is called the myopia. You are not able to see the far objects clearly. So actually, what is the reason behind it? What is the cause of myopia? So first you should know what is myopia. So you can say the defect of vision in which a person can see the nearby object clearly but cannot see the far object clearly. So this is called the myopia. Other name is short-sightedness. Short-sighted. Short-sighted means able to see the short distance object. So what can be the cause of this myopia? The first cause is actually what happened in the case of myopia. This is your eye. Now I am going to make a normal simple eye. You know this is not the actual structure of the eye, but okay. I explained you what is the structure of the eye. So for the defect of vision I am going to make a simple eye. So far object means the distance of the object from us is can be a few meter or kilometer. So the light which is coming from the far object are actually parallel to each other. And what happened in the case of myopia? This light ray do not meet at the retina. They meet before retina, like this. So since they meet before retina, it means the image formed here. Then how can we see the object? Because we see the object only when the image formed on retina. Since the image is not forming on the retina, so we are not able to see the object now. Okay. So this is called the myopia. Or what is about nearby object? So this lens can converse the light ray which is coming from nearby object to the retina like this. So this is the myopic eye, in which you are not able to see the distant object but able to see the nearby object. So what happened? What can be the cause of this myopia? Causes. First one. The first cause can be the focal length of the eye become short. It means the lens, if you know the rays meet at the principal focus when coming from the infinity. So it means its focal length becomes short. So due to this short focal length, we can say the image is formed before the retina, and due to which we are not able to see the object clearly, which is at the distance of infinity or far away from us. And for the nearby object, this lens can converse the light which is coming from the nearby object. So first cause can be the focal length of the lens becomes short. This is the first cause. What can be the second cause? Second cause can be if the lens is working properly. Suppose nothing has happened with the lens. For the working of the lens, the ciliary muscles and the suspensory ligaments can also be I'm not getting the term. Responsible. Okay, sorry. So the lens is not working properly. It can be due to the due to the improper working of the ciliary muscles or the suspensory ligaments. So this is the first reason. Second one, if suppose this was the normal size of the eye, okay, suppose, and if the eyeball become large, then what will happen? The retina which should be there at this place now is at the more distance from your lens. The distance between the retina and the lens become large. So the second reason can be the eyeball become large. So these are the two causes of myopia. First one, the focal length of the lens becomes short or the eyeball become too large. So these are the two causes of the myopia. Now the next part is how can we correct this vision? If you have some problems in your vision, you will have the spectacles. You know which type of lens you are using in your spectacles? You don't know about it? Or okay, it can be possible that one or two of you will know. which type of lens you have in your eyes, in your spectacles. So if you notice, they should be power like -1, -0.5, or the power of your lens will be like this. You know why it's negative? Negative is, have you remember which lens having the negative focal length? Yeah, it is concave lens. It means your lens, your spectacles have the concave lens. So in case of myopia, actually we use the concave lens. How the concave lens work? So now I'm going to explain you how the concave lens work in the case of myopia. So this is the myopic eye. This is a myopic eye. And these are the rays which is coming from inferior. Actually, these are from the far object which is present at the far distance from us. So suppose we have now this lens in our spectacles. So this lens, concave lens, is also called the diverging lens. So what happened with this lens? It always diverges the light rays. So this lens will diverge the light rays. The light which is coming like this, it will diverge the light rays like this. And we use such the power of a lens so that this lens will make the image of the object at the distance at which you are able to see the object. It means, suppose you are able to see the distance which is you are able to see the object which is at a distance of 5 meters from you, and after 5 meters you are not able to see clearly. So what will happen? You will the doctor will provide you such a lens which will make the image of far object at the distance of 5 meters, because you are able to see the object at the 5 meters. So it means this lens will form the image of the object at the distance of your vision. The distance at which you are able to see clearly, the far distance at which you are able to see the clearly, your lens will make the image at that distance. And due to which the image will form at retina. Because suppose the distance is 5 meters and you are able to see the distance and you are able to see the object which is at the distance of 5 meters. So this lens will make the image at the distance of 5 meters, so you are able to see the distance, the object clearly. So this is about the myopia. You should know what is myopia, what can be the cause of myopia, and which lens we use for myopia. We use the concave lens. Concave lens having the negative length, focal length and power. So the lens we use for myopia will have the negative focal length. Now you should notice, if you have some spectacles, if you have spectacles, then you should know what is the power of your lens and which type of lens you are using in your spectacles, and what is the focal length of your lens. So this is about the myopia. In next lecture, I will explain you hypermetropia and the presbyopia. The other two defects of vision. So okay, let's revise the things which we have learned today. I explained you what is accommodation. Accommodation means the power of a lens due to which you are able to see the nearby as well as the far object. And how you are able to see the far object? You are able to see the far object because the ciliary muscles attached to the lens become relaxed, and due to this relaxing, the suspensory ligaments which are attached with the lens pull the lens, and by pulling the lens, the focal length of the lens become large, or we can say the lens become thin, so that you are able to see the far object. And what is about the nearby object? If you want to see the nearby object, then your ciliary muscles get contracted. When it gets contracted, the suspensory ligament becomes loose, and the lens gains its original shape. Original shape means it becomes thick, and when it becomes thick, its focal length becomes short. So due to which you are able to see the nearby object. And we have in our syllabus, we have three types of defect of vision: myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. And I explain you about the myopia. Myopia is the short-sightedness in which you are able to see the nearby object clearly but not the far objects. And what can be the cause of myopia? It can be the cause, like first can be the focal length of the lens become short. This can be due to the improper functioning of ciliate muscles or the suspensory ligament. And second cause can be the eyeball becomes large. How can we correct this defect of vision? We can correct it by using the concave lens of proper focal length. So okay, this is myopia. Now, okay, I'm going to give you some roughly idea about the hypermetropia and the presbyopia. In hypermetropia, this is just opposite to the myopia. So that's why I'm not going to explain you, because these are vice versa to each other. So you will get confused. So I'm going to give you only roughly idea about the hypermetropia. So in hypermetropia, a person can see the far object clearly, but not able to see the near object clearly. So in this defect of vision, we are able to see the far object, but not the nearby object. It means the least distance of distance vision, which we have learned in this part, that's 25 centimeters least distance of distance vision. But the least distance, that is 25 centimeters, becomes large. Suppose you are not able to see the distance, the object at the distance of 25 centimeters. You are able to see the object at the distance of 35 centimeters. So your least distance becomes large. So in this case, nearby object which is at the distance of 25 centimeters, you are not able to see. It becomes large. The least distance becomes large. So this is called the hypermetropia. So its cause is also just opposite to this one. And for this correction, we also use the opposite lens. This is a convex lens. So we will learn it about it. We will learn it in next lecture. And what is about the presbyopia? Presbyopia is actually called the old age hypermetropia. In old age, it means when a person having the age more than 40 years, then what actually happen? The person cannot see the nearby object clearly, or it can also be happen that it cannot see the nearby as well as the far object clearly. So it means it can have the both defect of vision, can be myopia or with hypermetropia. Yeah, in some cases there is only the hypermetropia. So presbyopia is also called the old age hypermetropia. It means at this age the person is not able to see the nearby object which is at a distance of 25 centimeters clearly. So presbyopia. Okay, again one more thing is cataract. Yeah, one more defect of vision is called the cataract. In cataract you have I think you have listened this word Motiabindu, cataract. In case of cataract, what happened? In our cornea, a foggy layers form, a foggy membrane form. And in this foggy membrane, the image of the object is not formed at retina. A cloudy membrane is formed in front of the cornea. So that's why the image is not clearly formed on retina. And due to which a person not able to see clearly. And this is called the cataract or the Motiabindu. Or for this defect of vision, the only correction, how can we correct this defect of vision, is the only method is surgery. So by applying surgery, only by surgery, we can correct the defect of vision is called the cataract. Okay. So I will explain you all these things in next video. Till then, bye.